There is a saying that it's always better to be late than never. We are sorry for the delay that we have taken. It's Feel at Home. It's a pleasure for us to know that you are watching the program at this particular moment. Feel at Home is news. Feel at Home is entertainment. Feel at Home is equally debate. And we shall be having more in the course of this program. We equally have the son of one famous Cameroonian. His name is Aya Abine. Aya, how are you today?
Well, Mr. Clarkson, thank you very much for having me. It can never be well as long as our dad stays in illegal detention. We remind our viewers that he was kidnapped by state authorities on the 21st of January. And it's close to 200 days. He's held hostage at said on no charge.
You are saying that he was kidnapped?
I repeat it, kidnapped by state authorities.
He is the son of...
armed men sent by the state.
The son of Aya Paul. His name is equally Aya Abine. We are having a researcher from the NKAFU Institute, Policy Institute. You have a nice name. This is Saikila.
Yeah, and Saikila Milen.
How are you, Saikila?
I'm doing absolutely good, and I want to take this opportunity once more to salute the men of our armed forces and to say, may their souls rest in perfect peace.
We are talking governance. We are talking equally the NKAFU Policy Institute. Recently, they actually conducted a survey on governance in Cameroon, and the report, or the survey rather, was actually presented in Yaoundé. We are talking governance, and it's true that you conducted a survey. You went throughout the four corners of the Republic, and a majority of Cameroonians do believe that the best system of governance is, according to your report, according to your survey, is federalism. Tell us, how do you actually carry the survey? Tell us.
With the outburst of anger back in October of 2016 in Cameroon, we decided to investigate what Cameroonians actually think of governance in this country. And we did do that by initiating a survey on governance where we sampled the opinions of a couple of Cameroonians on the unitary system against the federal system, their confidence in the electoral system of the country, whether they do believe whether if current policies can move the country ahead. And 60% per se of Cameroonians, with a margin of error of plus or minus 4%, believe that a federal system is the best. If we go by the regional grouping, center, south, and we have 47% actually believing that a federal system is the best, going by the vote that they had on the survey. 42% of Adamawa North and Far North, 68% of littoral and western regions, and for the northwest and southwest grouping, a total of about 96.1% of citizens from those regions think that a federal system is the best so far for the country.
Federal system, the best system, the best method to govern Cameroon today. Are you of that opinion, Prince?
Well, I was also present in that presentation of the survey yesterday, and the presentation was very, very rich. And the document is here in front of me. And when we go into that document, we will realize that there are key things that we must be able to take into consideration when it comes to governance in this country. Number two, we must understand that governance is a process of, of interactions, and when the governance does not actually interact profoundly with the actors of that society, then there is bound to be tension and confusion. Like what we are experiencing in Cameroon today, as a matter of fact, the unitary system has outdated itself, and there is need and there is consistent call for the revision of the governance system in Cameroon. Therefore, with the spirit of the survey that was presented by
the CAFU Policy Institute.
CAFU Policy yesterday, and also with my personal conviction, I do believe that federalism is the only option that we can be able to go into at this point in time, without which it will be very difficult for our society to become very, very peaceful. And secondly, I want to also add that with regards to the current Anglophone crisis, it is not a problem of only the Anglophones per se, but given the fact that the Anglophones hold a particular value which actually was inherited from the British system of governance, it makes it difficult for them to be able to accept the unitary system, because the unitary system actually tried to water down or to dilute the values that are very, very much uplifted by the Anglophones. And people like...
So Prince, what are we retaining? Are you saying that federalism is the best system?
Federalism, as of this moment, is the best system that Cameroon should be able to have. Because without that, the country will go from bad to worse. That is very, very clear.
Cameroon is already bad.
It is already bad.
That is what you are saying.
It is already bad because when you start arresting people like Chief Justice Aya Paul Abine, you know, you start arresting people like Barrister Bala Nkongo, you start arresting somebody like Dr. Neba Fotike, and you start arresting people who have actually contributed massively to the building of the society, then there is a need for a revision of the kind of policies or the kind of governance that have been able to rule this country.
Beatrice?
Yes, I just want us to kind of enlighten. When they're talking of federal system, what are the advantages? For Cameroonians back here to understand what you are trying to explain to them, what are some of the advantages if we are having federalism or federal system?
Maybe before we come back to that, or before we come back to Prince Mumbari.
Yeah.
The SDF is out for what? Federalism?
Sure.
And why? And why?
That is the only system, because we will appoint our governors. We will elect our governors. We will elect our mayors.
Not appointment.
Not appointment, sorry.
We are talking of
not
election.
Elections. We will do all that one. And when we discover that they are going astray of what they told us during their campaign period, we fire them out. Yes. So the SDF is
quick action
for that. Yes, quick action.
So
we don't delay. But when you keep on delaying, I mean, you kill the economy, you weaken the people. Look at somebody like Mr. Ayapo is in prison. What is he doing there? Can you tell Cameroon what that man is doing there? If Cameroon really was a state of saying that, yes, this is what we have to do, this is what, just to blackmail because he knows the system. You imagine. That they are keeping Mr. Ayapo there for one.
That is a question that Tammy Clarkson cannot answer.
Wow.
Bless baby. We are talking federalism here. A greater majority of Cameroonians, according to the survey that he actually carried out, that federalism is the best system of governance.
I haven't had access to the survey that was carried out by CAFU Policy Institute, Policy
Institute.
Yeah. And so I'll not want to go into asking questions about the variables on who was the sample population and what they said. But I want to come back to a fundamental principle of governance. As Prince said, governance is interaction. Governance is the process by which officials elected or designated subsequently by power that comes from the people, how these people are able to hold accountable this elected or appointed officials and the process back. It is a give and take process. People give power to officials, and officials in turn have to go distribution of resources, and it comes with a lot of it. So when we now jump into talking about federalism or unitary state, the question I'm asking myself is, are the processes of accountability and governance within the federal state, how different are they from accountability and governance within the unitary state? Now, take a situation, I'll talk about from a youth perspective. How many young people who have even come to voting age know the name of their municipal councillor or their mayor? When a mayor at a very basic community level decides to grade a road...
If a child does not know the name of the mayor, who to blame?
Good. That is the question. Governance also comes to our ability to hold public authority accountable. So I think that even before jumping into the debate on federalism and
a unitary state, and some do believe that an independent Anglophone Cameroon is equally the best.
Well, we haven't come to that. I think the first point, Clarkson, the first point is asking ourselves, how am I able to hold authority accountable? Am I even interested in a system of governance? In a country where voter apathy is at its highest levels, do we think that because governance is not about the past? Governance
people,
is
if people are not going out to vote, who to blame? Bless.
The first blame can be individual. No, the first blame can be
So
individual.
you are talking a different language.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Let me contribute a little bit with
Please. Maybe before we take you, Prince.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord Simon, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say something.
The voice of an artist.
Yes, you see, when they talk of governance, in my late knowledge, it can't go without first of all vision. You first have to have that vision, how you can govern your people. Then in the vision, you see what can really good to your people. Coming back what is called federation or federal system, I think is the best because it draw the least common person closer to their finances. It draw the population closer to their budget. So in case of any mismanagement, the population already know, be aware of it. Imagine that in the system of unity state, where maybe somebody pay a ticket of community council from Bolova, the 100 francs has to leave Bolova to come to Yaoundé, and when Bolova need that 100 francs, it has been taken back to Bola. It pains, and it's as if they don't know what they are doing. It's just because a human being at a certain age or a certain time of life, they become so egocentric. Because the kind of embezzlement that is in Cameroon, if it was a system, it was a federal system. In fact, you will not.
So you are condemning the unitary system. Yes, you are saying that it's a system. It's a system.
Mr. Tab,
you are for federalism. It's a system of embezzlement.
Mr. Sabi, take the example of. It's a simple example I want to give you people. The Social Democratic Front has been crying this. Take the example of government delegate. How can you imagine an elected mayor, then somebody appoints somebody up there, the person comes there and sits on top. He is the one controlling all the budget. Take the case of simple Bamenda. Go and look at the state of roads in Bamenda, but they will tell you the government delegate. What then is
how are the states of the roads there?
Oh, Massa, it's terrible. It's terrible. We cannot talk it again. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm telling
Maybe
you.
before we take Prince, you wanted to react a while ago.
You know, one of the things I want us to understand is that as we sit on this panel, we should be conscious that Cameroonians are watching us and they're taking note of everything we are saying.
Thank you very much.
And we are not just sitting here and talking because we want to talk. We are talking because we want the best out of this country. This country belongs to us. We will not have another country than Cameroon. And each time I find myself in this opportunity, I want to give the best that I can so that Cameroonians can follow and know what is good for them and what they can be able to
What is good for Cameroon, Prince?
One of the things that is good for Cameroon at this point in time, number one, the system should change. Because, like my brother explained a while ago, the unitary system is so expensive. Why? Because when you, for example, the council, for example, the example he gave, a Bolova votes a budget or a council ticket is paid for 100 francs, that 100 francs has to leave a Bolova and come to Yaoundé, and then it is taken back to a Bolova. The transportation between a Bolova to Yaoundé and back to a Bolova, where is that cost coming from? So you see that it is very expensive. Number two, federalism draws the administration closer to the common man in such a way that the common man knows how to be able to hold the governor or the mayor accountable of everything which is going on. Why? Because that individual or that citizen actually can take part in elections. But with the current system that we have in this country, it is very difficult for one of the reasons for voters' apathy is because the system is so corrupt and so confusing that Cameroonians are so confused that they don't want to be able to delve into all kinds of confusion anymore. So there is great need at this point in time that as we grow up as young Cameroonians and we are the hope of this country at this point in time, we must be able to start talking these things and talking them with frankness and make the government to understand that enough is enough and we must be able to change.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Kabi, I feel obliged to say something.
Yes.
Sorry.
You have the floor.
This is a very passionate discussion, but I hope that we can see reason. I'm asking myself the question, is the reason why a young person does not take part in the management of the municipal council because of a federalism problem? Now, it is a good thing.
It's because of corruption.
Listen, let me talk.
It's because of corruption.
Because
of the current system. The current system is so corrupt that it is so difficult for anybody to take part.
Let him land.
We give the impression every day that this thing is about the system. I say no, it is about the mentality.
Who creates the mentality?
Who creates a mentality?
Yes.
A system creates a mentality.
Yes.
No, I have
Who are the people?
Absolutely. We are being influenced by the society in which we live.
I'm really worried. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it.
The system.
Please,
Those are the systems of the CPD and that is how you behave.
Let's be respectful.
Please.
In systems, let me tell you,
That is a
we will
system.
move to a federal system and still encounter the same problems of a unitary system.
I disagree.
No, I
Because
disagree with you.
if the
Please.
people, let me tell you,
Okay.
if the people are not equipped with the ability to hold their authorities accountable,
Baby,
the government
how
will
should
become
they be
the law.
How should they be equipped?
Blaise, permit me to ask you this question,
This is
Blaise.
absolute nonsense.
Blaise, permit me to ask you this question, Blaise.
Yes, sir.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that the unitary system, the system in place, is the best for Cameroon?
My understanding of governance does not go with federal or unitary system. My understanding of governance is me able to hold Emile Anze, my mayor of Yaoundé 1, accountable for the maintenance of the road that leads to my house or how my children go to school. That is my understanding of governance. It is not about the unitary or the federal system. I don't want to get into that detail.
Listen.
Okay. It's true that we are expecting a report because that report was actually focused on governance and some Cameroonians actually reacted. So I would like to come back to Aya. Aya, tell us, a while ago you said that I saw you disagreeing with Blaise, that Blaise was saying that the unitary system is the best.
No,
although he did not say it openly.
Yeah.
Although he did not say it openly.
I think Mr. Aya heard what I said.
Okay. Aya, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Clarkson. It's fair to start by saying that by the Constitution of the Republic of Cameroon, we are in a unitary, decentralized state. That's only on paper, because the government itself has not been able to apply their so-called decentralization for 21 years. That's already telling. They themselves either have no confidence in it or it's just bad faith. Now, the key difference between federalism, which is run by a majority of Cameroonians concerning regard to your report, and decentralization is this. In a federal system of government, the leaders are accountable directly to the people. Directly. Owing to the fact that it is the councillor right up to the governor. So, the people have the power to impeach their governor if he doesn't deliver the goods, impeach their mayor, impeach their whoever, parliamentarian, or they simply wait till election time and it's not voted again into power. We're coming back, we come out to the council. My co-panelist mentioned something. The mayor can do nothing in the current system. Even to buy a piece of paper, the mayor needs the authorization of an appointee, the government delegate. I say even to buy a piece of paper, he needs authorization of an appointee. So the people sit and elect your representatives. And Yaoundé says, though you have elected your representative, I am bringing you another representative, the government delegate, who is answerable directly to Yaoundé. So, do whatever you can, you the people, grumble as much as you can, there's nothing you can change. Because the government delegate takes all the decisions. The same with the councillors, I mean, the sous-prefect, the DOs,
It's true that
and
in
the
the military
SDOs.
system, governors are appointed,
Yeah, of course they're appointed.
And it's a problem.
It's a very big problem. We can't have our mayors we've elected.
Governors who are appointed,
And
is that a problem?
government
Bless
delegate.
Yes, yes.
Is it a problem?
I understand. Now, the governor is appointed, so he's answerable to
the person who actually appointed him.
Who appoints him.
Is that
in
normal?
In the federal system, the governor too appoints commissioners. You understand me?
Ah.
And those commissioners are answerable to the governor. Now, the federal system has the benefit that it brings the step of power lower. I accept that. But the federal system does not automatically mean that the common man, who is our main priority in governance, is going to have access to power. I'll take the case of Nigeria that I know very well. Sometimes the governors become lords, and they lord it over their local communities. And so it's an issue of, I think that the issue of governance is the ability for the common man to hold whoever is accountable to book, to policies. Let policies come from below. For instance, the other day I was complaining.
Policies coming from below.
I was complaining to my wife. Listen, I was complaining to my wife that we have a dustbin that is too close to the house. The first thing is that I notice that it is too close to the house. And then I tell other neighbors that, look, what can we do that this bin should be carried somewhere else further from habitation? That is how policy starts. And if we want to go up to the mayor, that is the meaning of policy. It is not about having a governor.
Okay. We have heard you. We have heard you. It's true that we still have something like 20 minutes before we leave. The time for me to take the last opinion of Beatrice, because she'll be leaving us very soon. Beatrice, we are talking governance. Maybe your last word before you actually leave us on this issue of governance. Are you of the opinion that the unitary system is the best, or federalism?
Federalism, we all know, is closer to the people, but I fear there won't be much difference, though it is direct to the people, closer to the people, but control and all the like, and the above power will still exist. But here the difference will be, people will be closer and people will have a direct impact to questioning the people. It will be direct, but I fear it will not be so different from.
If you have a message to
unitary.
send out to those watching us, especially to Yaoundé authorities, what will you say?
It's an issue of choice and an issue of making everything possible. If decentralization, which has been the cry of all, was working or has been working, things would have been a little
So
bit
things are
different.
not working.
So since it's not working, it has been on and on.
Beatrice,
and on,
things are not
going
working.
nowhere. So that's the cry of other people.
When it's a
for things
council,
to
you are
change.
saying that things are not working for Cameroon.
One of the things I
Concerning
want us to
decentralization.
understand is that governance has characteristics, and one of those characteristics is accountability, education. You know, and when governance cannot educate its citizens to be able to hold the governance accountable, then the governance system has failed. Now, there is need.
We shall be coming to you.
There is
The time,
need.
we shall be coming back to you. The time for us to take this report.
A survey on governance in Cameroon was presented this Thursday at the Denis and Lonera Foreta Foundation, conducted by the NKAFU Policy Institute of the Denis and Lonera Foundation. The crisis in the Anglophone regions, which began in the month of October 2016, prompted the survey. Saikila Melan and other members of the foundation went to the field to interview people on governance in Cameroon, the type of government they prefer, federalism, unitary state, or an independent Anglophone Cameroon. The survey was conducted online and in the field throughout the four corners of the Republic, and a total of 669 Cameroonians were interviewed.
Get a weighted value for the individuals of those regions. So now it will then be a particular number with the division that will be reflective of the the number of people in the actual population. That's what we call in statistics weighted value. Yeah. So on that aspect, we did try as much as possible to make sure that the sample we do is an actual reflection per se. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a reflection per se of the of the thoughts of individuals from the.
Globally, Cameroonians have various views on the type of governance they want for Cameroon.
Those who are scared about federalism are probably not educated enough about it. So personally, I'm open to the idea that the present form of unity centralized management could be revised, personally. And why? Why? Because the present system does not seem to satisfy most Cameroonians.
Well, I am a Cameroonian that lived the two systems. I lived the federal system, and I am also living the unitary system. Cameroon has evolved very remarkably over the years, and with the two Cameroons from different cultural backgrounds, and then a problem cropping today. I feel that the best system of governance is the one that the survey that we just followed has portrayed. The unitary system has not been cherished by more than 75% of Cameroonians. So I am of the opinion that we should go back to the federal system.
Because it's only united that we can advance. And I think we should take advantage of our differences to complement each other, rather than using it to divide or to separate. Because once we achieve the division, we are left behind by that division. Because when you focus on what you need and you forget what you already have, when you get what you need, after separating from what you already have, you will lack what you have, and that you have just abandoned. So if I want to bring this to the present situation in Cameroon, I think that we need to remain united first.
Dennis and Lonera Foundation has opened up the debate. Researchers and other social scientists are called upon to make a similar survey on democracy in Cameroon, electoral system, and whether or not governors should be elected. Dennis and Lonera Foundation has promised to carry on more research as to what concerns governance in Cameroon.
It's true that it's an important topic that we are actually discussing, and with the assistance of Professor Zambo and equally the hierarchy, we are pleading that because we started the program late, if they can give us a few more minutes, maybe 10 after 3, it would be nice for us, because we have other issues that we have to actually discuss in the program. So thank you, Professor Zambo, for your wonderful collaboration and understanding. Yes, before we take you, the time for us to say good afternoon to Alemken.
Afternoon, Clarkson, and afternoon to the panelists, and afternoon to viewers of Canal to English.
Governance, what type of governance, what type of system is best for Cameroon?
No, I don't think I can go in that way. Firstly, I would like to make 3 things very clear. We have 3 issues in terms of governance. Governance emanates from philosophers. Us philosophers will conceive the system and give to politicians. Firstly, you have the government of the one, which is monarchism. Is it what we have in Cameroon? We have government of the few, which is aristocracy. Is it what we have in Cameroon? Now we have government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That is the larger the definition of democracy. Is it what we have in Cameroon? And within democracy now we have a multiplicity of types and kinds of democracy. What actually do we want now in Cameroon? Because from what NKAFU's Institute has done, it's a good piece of work. Even though if it was not done, the answer will still be what we are all thinking. Most of us, we saw the leftovers of Ahijo we leave his epoch.
Yeah.
We began with Sabia.
Yeah.
The leftovers
Yes,
of the late
Yes, we have
president.
been with him for about 34 years. And for me, I think if Cameroonians want to move into a new type of government, it should be a type of government that we allow the people to have direct access to power, access to decision taking, no matter the name they give to it. Federalism, larger democracy, smaller democracy, decentralization, all those things, they will not count. The problem is that are the people from the base able to decide at the moment and say, no, Mr. Klassen, you have been our MP for 15 years. From now henceforth, we are voting you out. And they vote you, and the votes are counted. I think that is where we should find ourselves. But
Are
for
votes not counted today?
no. The system in which we are is not what we cannot. Is not what we can. Is not worth longer supporting. That is more reason why our parents. It's not even the youth. The cry today is from the parents who send Foncha and the rest to Fumban. Because if you move around the country, before NKAFU did the survey, I myself have gone around. Those people who are above 55 years, their cry is that the terms of the Fumban conference are not longer respected. And that is where the issue is. The clauses are no longer respected. And consequently, those older people who have a bigger say, who have even brought us up, who have those who are abroad, are now asking that the government in place should revisit the exam papers and go back to where this union started. And if
Fumban is not respected,
Fumban is not respected,
it's responsible for what we are witnessing today. That's what you are saying.
Exactly. It is
and that the unitary system has failed.
Completely. It has failed completely because that system has been unable to bring Cameroonians together. And the failure began in 1990.
Okay, we have heard you. We have heard you. Yes, Mumbari.
Mr. Tabi Klassen, we waste our time to come here because we want to educate Cameroonians, as our brother have said. Look, if people are here to make campaign, the CPDM, they have a CRTV to go there and make campaign for the CPDM. We are not here for campaign because it's impossible for a Cameroonian to say federalism is this, is that, is that. No. Take, for example, last 2 weeks ago, we were talking here about Mandela Day. That was a clean and clear example. You know, we have a system that is a system that you cannot break them. You cannot break
Mandela cannot win election in Cameroon.
They cannot win election in Cameroon. For example, Mr. Tabi Klassen, take the example of the Northwest. Look at what is happening in the Northwest, in the Southwest. They are there looking at the people like that. Mr. Bia is saying that kill yourself is an Anglophone issue. Those are the language. Mr. Tabi, this radio, you are inviting.
No, it's television
here.
station here.
Television,
it's true that I used to be at the level of the Seattle radio.
You are calling us here to come and speak the truth. This is not a campaign radio for the CPDM. For example, I want to give you one example. To tell you how the system is corrupted. There is a newspaper there in front there.
Yes.
You have read the title. He's inviting the president of... No, show the title so that the press should see. Why is he inviting the president of CAF in Yaoundé? Is to corrupt him. That's the system. And they believe in that. Why? Because instead they have a problem to build stadiums, hotels, roads. They are not concentrating on that. He's inviting the man here. For what?
Yes, I cannot answer that question. You don't expect me to answer that question now?
No, the people to answer the question.
Or you want Bless to answer?
Blair, I don't know. He is free.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Zakila.
Going back to the voter or the common man being able to hold government to account, I do think the nature, the way in which Cameroonians think now is a direct reflection of what is happening on the field. Yeah. Of course, the politics determines the psyche of individuals. And if we are definitely to go by the statistics and the confidence of Cameroonians in the electoral system, we'll find that a majority of them do not think that the current electoral system of the country, with members appointed all by the head of state, is actually to be trusted.
Can you refuse your mother? Yeah, appoint somebody
Absolutely
and
not.
tells you that, no, I'm not more
So,
of the CPDM.
and we
Those
find
are
here,
stories.
if you go through the report of NKAFU, you find here that 87% of Cameroonians
But
do
just
not think-
669 people that you interviewed
Yeah.
of the 22 million Cameroonians.
Yeah.
Don't you think that is a problem?
For anybody who has a basic understanding of statistics, for anybody who has a basic understanding of statistics, you'll understand that there is what we call the margin of error. And going by 4%, positive or negative margin of error on the population of Cameroon, based on the 2013 statistics, we'll find that that is accurate and actually a result which we can go by.
You share that opinion, Aya?
100%. If I could just drop something with regard to what he did. There's what we call a sample population when you're doing statistics. You cannot go interviewing everybody. There is a sample population representative of all the-
669, is it not
it's a good
is enough?
It's a good sample population. I can't go into the details, the data, the age distribution of everything, but 600 can be a very good sample population. Getting back to our topic, let's contextualize governance. We're in the current Anglophone crisis. In a federation, Justice Ayapon, Bala, Fontem, all those guys under detention will not be under detention. Simple. We are in, what are they, northwest region or southwest region. We know ourselves, we know everybody there. We know everything that is happening in our region. We can easily identify ourselves.
Sure.
We can easily identify when things are getting to a point of no return. We can easily identify intruders. Get an example. Imagine somebody living from Akwaya, where there's no road linking the area, coming to Yaoundé to follow up his pension allowance. At times, it's just maybe 15,000 or 30,000. How much does he spend in transport?
10 times.
How much does he come to get?
Some even die.
How much does he? Some even die.
Some die without getting it.
In the federal system of government, all the regions manage their affairs. He can walk from Akwaya to Boya. He can walk from
Not from Akwaya to
from
Yaoundé.
So to
Bamenda.
Bamenda. He can
Yeah.
walk from Kuseri to Maroa. He doesn't need to come to Yaoundé. You see, why these people are denying federalism with all this, it's not just because, no, they have a lot of investment in Yaoundé. If people leave Yaoundé, their hotels, their whatevers and whatever will crumble.
Yeah.
So everything should stay here. Nothing goes beyond Yaoundé.
Yes, Simon, it's true that we shall be taking news from the internet very soon, and equally SMS that Derek Kamugo will actually be reading to us. But before then, there's time for us to have Lord Simon. Lord Simon?
Yes, again on this issue, you see, I don't know why people tend to be so wicked. We are talking about sensitive issue here. A person like Papaya in the prison, Barrister Bobela and the rest, actually, why are they in prison? I just want to say something here. Because it is within a situation like this, when you find somebody becoming a rebel. Because this...
No, we are not here to
I'm just
promote.
coming. No, I'm just coming. Let me just learn. Sorry to use that word, because I just want to let the person that is detaining these people in prison that Anglophones are bent to know their destiny, and nobody can stop that. Because if it is that, maybe they will stand up to speak the truth, which is beneficial to everybody. Then they tend to treat others in prison for no reason. Then they should understand that we are bent to know our destiny, and nobody, not even Yaoundé, nobody in the world, can stop that.
Bless baby.
I just want to, I think that when Mr. Lincoln came to debate, he brought some insight, which was very relieving for me. That's why I think Plato said that philosophers should be kings.
Exactly.
If I'm not mistaken.
That philosophers?
And philosophers should be kings.
Okay.
You know, like he said, I still maintain that the fundamental problem of our society does not lie in the hands of the administrative system. It lies in the hands of the administrative philosophy. And tomorrow, it's a very passionate debate, and it would appear, one of my principles in debate is tolerance. So if anybody's getting intolerant with me, just suffer it. It is how I think. I think that the great challenge, the task of today, is not basically about federalism or unitary state. It is about what kind of governance do we want for this country. This country has been governed by elitism, meaning that the powers in place thought that by picking sons and daughters from a choir from here and there and putting them in positions of authority, they thought that they were sharing power.
Aristocracy.
But that is not, that it is aristocracy. We have a system, a governance system built on political aristocracy, where those in power think that because you are here from this place, it means that your people are fine. I am looking forward to the governance where routes can go to villages and not big cylinder cars going to pick out early.
Okay, we shall have.
That is why.
It is about mentality change. It's about giving the people power, giving them true power. The fact that you elect the governor does not mean that the man will not crush you tomorrow. Let's be very careful.
That is why I want to remind us that, as a matter of fact, the kind of system that has been managing Cameroonians before now and until now is not working. So when it is not working, you change it. And the change which we are scrambling for right now is that we move to another system of governance, which is federalism.
And I say that will not be the absolute panacea.
Because
it will not be the absolute panacea.
Yes, mentality, it's here.
It's in the heart.
I think that we must be able to give power to the people and not actually listen to the people. We still have
something like 6 minutes before we go. The time for us to conclude. We are concluding, Prince.
Yes.
Your last word before we go.
Yeah, one of the things I want to say, somebody was asking that what kind of governance or what kind of federalism do we want? You know, somebody said a while ago that we must go back to history, you know, to be able to visit history and what entailed in the past. We had a system of which Mr. Alemkem decried a while ago, that the Fumban Conference actually is a disappointment at this point in time. So we must go back to the Fumban Conference and come up with the two federal system, the two states. From the two states now, then we can be able to break down now to the 10 different regions. That is how I see the federalism. Why? Because we must understand that the Cameroon cultural zones have been divided already. We have the Sawa, we have the Sailien, we have the Grassfield, and we have the Fangbeti. Those are 4 cultural zones that have been divided. And within these cultural zones, we have aspects that can be linked between the central region, the east region, and so forth. So we can be able to move to, first of all, build
the way forward is what? The way forward. We are concluding.
We build the 2 federal system first, then we break it down now to 10 states.
Okay. Alem, can you last word before we go?
I will begin by thanking the NKAFU Policy Institute for enriching the debate at this moment. There's high tension, and I think the way forward is that we must not be afraid of our differences. We must not be afraid of the errors we have committed. The government in place must admit that they have skipped a lot of stages, and consequently, this has landed us where we are.
They have committed a lot of errors.
It is a government of crisis. Copyright crisis, Anglophone crisis, Boko Haram crisis. In fact,
economic crisis,
we cannot continue in
unemployment crisis.
And consequently, they must admit the fact that they have failed along the line, and they must accept revision.
Thank you. Your last word before we go, Mumbari.
It's simple. Let the system learn. Let the system copy the things that are right from other neighbor countries, and let's use it to progress our own nation.
Lord Simon?
Yes, just as my brother the other side said, so, and we have been talking about governance and federation, and I for one am not for federation, because if you go back to the history, Anglophone was a state. But the wicked man came and reduced us to a region. And when people stand up to speak, the best thing they could do, they can shoot others and kill, shoot or take others and put in prison. So what I'm trying to make people or Cameroonians understand is that if the federal system is coming back, is from in between Anglophone and the Republic. If within the Republic, if they want to make their own, maybe a type of federal, that belongs to...
We have heard you. We have heard you, Lord Simon. I will first take you, Sakila.
Yes, I do think...
Please, we still have 30 seconds, sir.
I think the prelude to a truthful and more democratic society is that we, the citizens, especially the young who constitute a vast majority of the population, begin asking questions and going out there to the field to get credible answers to those questions. The NKAFU policy has initiated this, and I do think other scientists, other researchers should go out and conduct similar studies.
Okay, we say thank you. Aya.
Yeah, my last word would go to all the victims of the Anglophone crisis. I call to mind those who've fallen on your families. I call to mind the big heads, Ayapol, Bala, Fontem, BBC. They are paying a huge price on behalf of what millions of other people believe in. My heartfelt sympathy to all your families. May God bless and keep them strong.
Amen.
The son of Aya has spoken. We say thank you for that nice piece of wise words. Yes, your last word, bless.
Just to tell young Cameroonians who are watching us that next year we are going to have 4 elections. And the real issues of governance is about your ability to decide what you want to do with your vote.
We say thank you. It's on this note that we put an end to this program. The time for us to say that elections have been pushed forward at the level of the SDF as to what concerns at the level of the region, not so?
At the region.
Yeah, in Yaoundé.
Yeah.
It was scheduled for the 29th of July. It has been pushed forward to the 5th of August because of certain irregularities.
True.
Okay, we say...
and NEC will take the final decision.
We say thank you. It's on this note that we put an end to this program. We say thank you for coming, gentlemen. Till then, we say may God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.